Well, hey guys, and welcome to another episode in our Birnie Family YouTube and Facebook. And as you can see, we are back at the boiler. Now again, in this video I'll do a proper introduction in a minute, but at this stage we've left the boiler overnight and repaired that bit over there because it was really leaking badly, as you can see. And that, of course guys, that's just after the summer, you know. So what I'm doing just now guys is refilling the system, and then I'll do a service the system as well and just show you how that goes. Yeah, so this is the filling loop just here, and underneath them, you know, obviously every unit's different. There we go, every unit's different. I'm going to have to keep going and filling this thing up. Now every radiator in the house, a litre, maybe 2 litres of water in each, then all the pipe work. So it's quite a lot, it's not much. So that's me trying to fill the system up now, and what I'm going to try and do is, you know, fill it gradually, and then air it upstairs, the highest point. Fill it again, air it, fill it again, air it, just to get it going. So that's the system filled up now guys, and there will be air in it. There's no question about it. But I think guys, what I'm going to do is basically fill it to this sort of minimum pressure. Because obviously when the boiler heats up, the pressure will increase, because the water's obviously expanding. And I don't want too much pressure on these older joints, you know. So I'll try and keep it as quite a low pressure system, I think. Right, so combustion chamber door back on, listen to that. You can hear the air guys, isn't it? Just watch that gauge. It should be a lot quieter than that. Just going to have the pump will switch off now, it should do. There we go, we'll just click the room start back on guys. Let's see. So you'll see it's firing at the moment, which is great. Gas is nice, look. That's just through the little inspection. And of course I'm just hoping we're not going to get any water coming down from that pipe, that's the big thing. But the other big thing is just keeping an eye on this pressure. It's sounding a lot better now, and I can feel that pump vibrating, so it's definitely running. So obviously this will push the water around the system, and then I'm going to have to air it again, but hopefully, flipping heck, that'll be that. We are looking good, people. That pressure gauge is okay. But of course the big thing I'm concerned about is this leak. I won't probably see it at first, you see. I'd have to take back off the combustion chamber once it cools down, but it's looking hopeful. Yes, that's the winter kind of coming in now guys. So sometimes, you know, you have to turn your radiator temperature up a bit. I prefer just to keep it round about there, you know. Maybe even less just now. That'll be like 60 degrees in the radiators. And obviously same again, hot water, you can pull it up full tilt, but that's just scalding. So leave it round about there, and that should just give us a really good temperature for the heating. Again guys, from the last video, controls. You know what I mean? If you've got all these things set up the way they should be, it'll save you quite a lot of money over a 12-month period. Yes, that's the house up to about 20 degrees now, so that's, you know, pretty well expanded and whatnot. So what we'll do, so we'll take it down to 19, and hopefully you'll hear the click. It's reading 20 degrees now. You hear that? That's that. Now as you see, that's the gas off now. And the only thing that's really still going, you can feel it, this pump's hot, is the pump. And what it's doing guys is circulating the hot water throughout the system to dissipate as much heat as it can. This particular motor runs for like 5 minutes just to dissipate the heat, so that's what we need. So hopefully that's it, you know, for the boiler, goodness me. And apologies if this video's been a little bit bitty, you know, but we need the heating system up and running, you know, so I've been in a bit of time pressure and a rush to do it, you know. But hopefully over the course of these 2 videos, you know, it's showing just a lot of little cost-saving things that you can do. And of course, one of those big things, of course, is the heating system, so it needs a little bit more attention, you know. So, I mean, in this video, we're going to sort of service the system, and I'm going to show you the benefits of having like a magnetic filter. Absolutely spot on, you know. Wait till you see that a little bit later. I've done that already, you see. And as it comes back, guys, you know, you can have the most fantastic boiler system put into the house, you know, an air source or whatever. But if your radiator system is bad and it's sludged up, or the radiators are old, or they're not balanced properly, you're really putting a brand new boiler onto an old system. Now, you know, we're looking at saving a couple of £100 a year on our heating bills and whatnot. But if we've got an old rubbishy system connected up to that boiler, it might only last 5 years. You're talking £3 grand. You're saving absolutely nothing. in the long run it's costing you a lot of money. However, if your radiator system, or whatever the emitters are that you've got, are well maintained, you know, if they're flushed out and cleaned, stuff's taken away from in front of it, you know, so that it's got perfect heat coming out, balance the radiator valves, which I'll just, better share that with you quick. You know, from where we are at the boiler, we've got a radiator here, a radiator there. They're at the beginning of the system. So instead of having the lock shield valve wide open, you only have it open a little bit. Go up to the other side of the system, open it wide open up at David's, you know. And that means the system really has got its balance, you know, and it works really well. But what you can find is, you know, that if your radiators are only pumping out 60% of what they really could do, you're using more fuel, boiler's on for a lot longer to try and get the house up to temperature, guys, and that's just no use. So hopefully in this video, along with a few other things, you know, hopefully you've got your notepad, I want to show you the magnetic filter and the benefits of it. So again, guys, this is the cupboard under the stairs, and obviously we're into, you know, major redecorations. We've got a lot of stuff sort of lying about and whatnot, you know. But I was just wanting to show you this thing. And basically, guys, this is a TF1 filter made by Fernox, and there's loads of other ones. I can't quite remember the names of them now. But basically, guys, in here, there's a magnet that goes all the way down in there. You can sort of pull that out, and that catches all the, you know, bits of metal or any of the sort of bits that are magnetic and draw it into the filter, which kind of goes like that. You can also dose with chemicals. This makes life a lot easier. You can unscrew that. You can even unscrew the top. Obviously you have to wait, or, you know, this one here should have isolators, look. And you can actually dose the system. So let's just pretend I've put in cleanser or power flush and I've left it in the house for, you know, like the past week. Now we've drained down the system and I'm refilling it now. That's the kind of stage that we're at, you know, over the course of this 2 videos. Here we go. Very powerful magnet. Very powerful. I wonder if it'll lift that. Yeah, it does look. See how powerful that is. Stuff it, I'll just leave it there. But that's it out, and of course I've isolated the system. You can take this out without having to isolate the system. But what I'm going to do is just leave it for a couple of minutes. You know, when you pull that out, all the particles will let go of the magnet part, obviously, and flow down to the bottom. So we'll just have to wait maybe 5 minutes for that. And look at that. That should be very near, not really clear as such, but a lot better than that. I'm actually quite glad it's like this for this video, because the times that I've done it before, it's been absolutely clear, but boy oh boy, it's just over the summer not being used. I just want to see if there's any larger particles in here. There is, look. You can actually see it in that clearer bit, look. Look at that. And there. You see that in your system? All the little bits and pieces, that is a nightmare, but look what the filter has taken out over the summertime. So look, a magnet like that. What a simple thing. And when they first came out, I think it was a guy called Adi, they were called Magna Cleans, I think, at the time. And they were just a revolution, you know, and they keep your system so clean. I think ours is probably getting quite bad because the radiators are pretty old now. And again, if we're putting in a heat pump, we're going to have to replace them anyway, so I'm not doing that just now, you know. But for the minute, that's great. You know, we've cleaned out the system. It's looking, you know, really good. We've got all that flipping rubbish out of there as well. And I'm sure there might be a couple more bits that come. So I'll do it again in a little while. So what we'll do now, guys, is just dose the system. We call dosing the system. We'll get back to the big paint job at some stage, guys. You know, where the old lockdowns and stuff, things have sort of changed. But we're needing a couple of things out of here. Hopefully it's still there. O-rings and all sorts of bits and pieces. Now I am really debating putting some leak sealer in, you know, that just because with the repair that we did, that'll catch little pinholes and whatnot, you know. I think we will. I think we'll put this in, you know. Yeah, again, so I'm just going to pretend to dose the system, guys, because, well, I'll tell you in just a second, but obviously you can remove this top. It's isolated off, so it's fine. We've emptied it, so it's just full of air, which is great. So you can open that up and then pour the stuffies into there, which is great. Back in with a magnet. obviously tighten the bottom back up again, which is just there, and then open up the valves. Now with that, guys, that's all air that's now going to go into your system. There is a little bleed screw, there normally is on these things. You can air it just there if you want, but generally it'll probably just go way out and into the system somewhere, and we'll find it upstairs somewhere, you know. But I'm not putting the Sentinel inhibitor in just now, or the leak sealer, because they can cost about $20 each, you know, £15 each, something like that. If the system leaks again and I have to drain it, well, think about it, guys, you know, 40 quid, you know, £35 maybe, you know, who knows, you know, whatever you're actually using. And that is a complete waste that you've lost. Then you're going to have to buy more to put it back in. So we're just going to leave it. Alright, so let's get the isolating valves back in. You'll hear it filling up. And away goes the air. It'll go away up top somewhere. We'll give it a wee air as well, but that's okay. The pressure is holding strong, look. And again, I'm not going to run this thing on a major amount of pressure. Maybe up a little bit. We'll maybe fill it up just that little bit more. Obviously, once the heating system goes on, water expands and up the pressure will go. I don't want that. So I can't really put in the leak sealer or the you know, the inhibitor until I work out if this thing's actually leaking or not. It doesn't feel like it is, but I'll maybe have to sort of check that later on tonight. Yes, before I just recap everything we've kind of spoken about, guys, for this service, I just want to show you this as well. That's absolutely fine, actually. After the summer, the metal contracts a bit, and sometimes these can be loose. You know, so even top and bottom, just giving them a nip, not like a huge tighten, but, you know, just a nice nip on each of the radiators will make a lot of difference. These can be quite exposed, you see. But that would really sort things out, guys. You know, we don't want any leaks from there. Yeah, guys, so as always, you know, I always say in these videos, this isn't professional advice, you know, this is just what I do. Hopefully it maybe gives you a little bit of motivation to do some DIY. But you can even see by what I'm doing here today how much money you're saving. You know, never mind another couple of hundred on your heating bills and stuff like that. You know, this makes a real difference. So I just want to sort of run back through, you know, what we've done. And again, apologies if this video's been a little bit bitty. It's just I'm really under pressure to get this all done, you know, and because we have to have it for here at the house. But you know, when it comes to this is kind of like a major service, you know, draining down and stuff like that, you know. But generally, what you can do, and again, this, you know, this magnetic filter is just a no-brainer, guys. Absolutely brilliant. That's your dosing point. So you can put in cleanser, leave it for 3 or 4 days, and it just runs around the system, get rid of all this sort of rubbish and whatnot. So when you drain it down, you're going to get rid of all that rubbish, you know, and you can fill it up and nice and fresh. But of course, when you're draining the system down, you're losing your antifreeze, you're losing your, you know, your inhibitor, leak sealer, you know, all these sort of different chemicals is in it. So draining down can be about $50 or $60, you know, even more, as it were, you know. So I've had to do it just because of that leak. Not everybody really needs to do that, but that's absolutely fine, you know. So again, this magnetic filter, guys, is just tremendous. And, you know, when you come to save money on gas and electricity and stuff like that, you know, if you haven't got a magnetic filter and your boiler lasts 5 years instead of 10, that's a lot of money. You haven't saved a penny. You know, you've caused more. You know, so having a magnetic filter in the house is just paramount, absolutely paramount. And that can obviously be your dosing points, you know. But generally what you do so after the summer, like I said, you know, you tighten up all these little bits and pieces all over the place, make sure the radiator system's balanced, you know. And, you know, what you want to be doing is maybe emptying out the magnetic filter and then putting in some more inhibitor. You know, that's always a really good thing. But again, with a magnetic filter, it's showing you the state of your system. You open that baby up and nice clear stuff comes out, absolutely brilliant, that's great. You know, that's what you want. Our one was a little bit bad this time, I haven't had a real chance. But that just shows you, you know, that is all to do with that leak on the boiler. That's how much of a problem that can cause. And obviously, guys, you know, once you're done all that, again, it's tightening all these bits up, it's just airing your radiators, it's, you know, just making sure the radiator system's all nice and balanced, make sure the controls are on the go, absolutely brilliant. Now, when you've kind of done all this, you can decide to put in a new boiler, if your one's on its last legs, or change the air source, or something like that, you know. But my advice always is, guys, if you can, is have like a wood burner in the house, a multi-fuel. You know, at the moment it's still carbon neutral, and It'll heat your whole home, 3 to 4 bedroom home, it'll heat no problem at all, you know. Just like we had here last night, because the heating system was down all night, you know. But I'm hoping that you see, you know, over the course of this past 2 videos, guys, it's not just your heating system, it's not just no-brainer things like magnetic filters that save your boiler life and all that sort of stuff. It's just little changes, lots of little changes over a 12-month period, you know. Time in the shower, not as many baths, you know. Baths only need to be half filled. Make sure the temperature in the boiler's, you know, a lot lower than it needs to be, so you're not putting in cold water all the time to make it right. Make it come out right in the first place so you don't have to do that. Just a complete waste. I think the other things we spoke about, of course, guys, was insulation in the house where you can. That's really important. Drafts, if you have them, getting all those sort of drafts sorted out. Hopefully when it comes to the electrics in the house, we've obviously got the aquarium and a couple of vivariums for the reptiles. But those lights are all on timers, you know. They come on and off to when we want things to happen. And of course, in this day and age, guys, you know, there's so much technology, so many apps. You can absolutely have your house, you know, almost under total control, you know. But it's the user that's the issue. It always will be. It's just the user. You know, are you wasteful with water? Are you wasteful with the kettle? Are you wasteful with the lights in the house? You know, baths, showers, all those sort of things. Just look at it. Over a 12-month period, you having half baths instead of full baths for a whole year. Savings, guys, you know. Look at the servicing of this system here. What's the point of putting a brand new boiler in there with a crappy, rubbishy system, you know? That old boiler, that new boiler might only last 5 years if your system's as bad as that. Magnetic filter with the proper chemicals inside. Who knows how long it'll last for, you know? So all these things are hugely important. And of course, when it comes to changing these things, you've got to look at the balance. You know, for most of us, we're on a budget, you know, and you really have to look at the balance in these things, you know. Spending $3 on a stove, you know, how long is that going to take to recoup? You know, going to stay in the house for 20 years? You know, do we put it into, you know, put the value up in the house? So you've got to think of all these things as well. But generally, guys, when you do all these little things, especially boiler control, you know, a 50 quid programmable room start like we've got, it dramatically changes your energy usage over the year, you know. And this is before you start throwing in solar panels and stuff. So as you can imagine, if you do all this stuff first, you start seeing some major savings in your heating and electricity bills. That's when you can look at it and say, you know something, photovoltaic panels on the roof to deal with the rest of our electricity is awesome. And your bills are like, you know. So it's things like that, guys, you know. You know, there's other little tricks as well. Hopefully throughout these 2 videos, you know, that you can take some notes and just, you know, just have a real look at them yourself and, you know, have a think, you know. But as I keep saying, guys, it's all the little things, just little things all the time that just make a huge difference. And guess what? The dishwasher's just broken. How exciting is that? Well, take a look at this thing, guys. I just want to show you. I'd love to get the sort of silvery stuff to put in here and whatnot. But this is an old whirlpool. We got this about 4 years ago, and it was second hand. Got this thing for £50. Really good make, and that's it just sort of knockering up now. I'm sure it's either 4 or 5 years we've had it. I've got the feeling, yeah, I've got the feeling that there may be a blockage in the pump or something like that, so we'll see what we can do. But another great saver, guys, is stuff like that, you know. You want to buy brand new stuff, you want to buy good stuff, you know, there's no question, or you'll be changing it all the time. But there are those occasions, you know, when you're maybe a bit tight for cash, second-hand things like this are ace. I thought this would just be a stopgap. 4 years later, guys, you know, £50, what could I have spent on another one? 300? That's £250 saved, guys, if not more. Same with fridges, guys. You know, at the time we were really economising. You know, I'd love to have a nice big silver one to go with the kitchen the way it is. But guys, I'm going to look out for a second-hand fridge. You know, times are a little bit tight. You know, so ordinarily it'd be nice to buy new. But again, there you go, your appliances. And obviously, guys, I think most appliances these days are A-rated. You know, so they're they're very economical. You know, when you're going to use them. But obviously, fridge, freezer, if you've got another fridge, freezer as well, goodness me, guys, you know, you can see they need to be on cooling all the time. Thing like a dishwasher, wash machine, well, they're on daily, you know. Again, you'll see our little wash machine there, guys. Snugly in there. And it's on in the middle of the night. Generally, it's on in the middle of the night, unless we've got quite a lot to do at off-peak times. And obviously guys, you know, running it on a low temperature, you don't really need it much higher. Pre-soak stuff, if there's stains, you know, stick it at 40 degrees and it tends to do it quite nicely. Yeah, a wee bit of apologies for the mess guys, Mum's away out with the kids and stuff like that, so obviously after breakfast and whatnot, good old Alexa, hey, what would we do without you? But again guys, you know, kettle, 3 kilowatts that kettle is, that I know. So you can imagine it's on and off, on and off, on and off, you know what I mean? Got to do sort of a bit of cost saving there as well, you know. Yeah, so there we go, after over 2 episodes kind of finally got there. And hopefully I've mentioned loads and loads of different things, guys. And hopefully, you know, that'll maybe just sort of spur us on, you know, to look at other ways. I'm sure there's great YouTube videos out there, guys, about, you know, even more cost saving in various other areas. Hopefully I've hit sort of the big ones, you know. And again, I keep coming back to it, guys, you know, you'll see over that 12-month period, everything, heating, hot water, you know, your fridge, you know, all the different things that you use on a daily basis, lighting, even monitors, you know, switching monitors off, you know, leave your computer running, but, you know, turn the monitor off and stuff like that. Just loads, you know. And again, I just hope it's kind of whetted your appetite, you know, just to have a look at your home and think, right, let's get these drafts sorted out, make sure the radiators are working the way they should, get stuff away from them, so the house is nice, efficient and stuff like that, you know. Let's get some timers, put them all around the house in various places. Absolutely brilliant, save you loads and loads of pennies. And here comes David just as I finish the video, eh son?
Hello.
Hello baby boy. So that's young David sorted out with a bit of food, as you can see, just under that wee bit of pressure to get all his jobs done, you know, but spot on. So listen guys, thank you very much for watching. I just hope that over the course of these 2 videos you've sort of seen loads of hints and tips and whatnot, you know. But if we can ask guys, it'd be great if you'd like to like, subscribe and hit that notifications bell. We do have loads of more videos to come, you know. I'd say motorbike vlogs, car vlogs, caravanning, camping, fishing, canoeing. We try to do it all, you know, so there's a little something for everyone. But guys, for now, thank you so much for watching and God bless.